your hand. We will get you the microphone. Who's got the first question in Japanese?
最初にデーブ・ロバーツ監督の会見を始めます。質問のある方、日本語から受け付けますので、挙手の上ご質問ください。よろしくお願いします。
Don't be shy. We'll go the third row on your left.
おはようございます。日本放送の大泉と申します。昨日の試合を拝見していて非常に今年も強いなという印象を受けたんですけども、今年は他の29球団から追われる立場になると思うんですが、連覇を達成するには監督は何が一番今年は重要だと考えていますか？
I think an analogy is that I use with our players is a mindset, and flip it and be the hunter instead of the hunted. I think when you're the Dodgers, there's always a target, and you can't run from it.
すみません、もう一つジャスティン・ターナー選手が、カブスの一員として、最初に迎えるゲームがこの長年所属していたドジャースというのは非常にクールだと話していたんですけれども、そのあたり監督はどう感じているか、そしてターナー選手と何か会話はあったか、もしあれば教えてください。
I haven't seen Justin talk to him. I have a ton of respect for him. He's one of the players I was closest to, and he's had a great career, and it's different competing against him, but it's still exciting.
'Other questions in Japanese for Dave? We'll go right here.
今日の相手は昨日カブスを破った阪神タイガースなんですけど、相手チームの印象とかを教えてください。
No, not really. I know as a young left-handed pitcher that pitched well against the Cubs yesterday, and the great thing about baseball is anyone can win, each night, and learned a little bit about the Giants yesterday and look forward to seeing the Tigers today.
I'll go to the second row.
すみません、今日の阪神の先発投手は才木投手って大谷選手がWBC 前に膝ついてホームランを打った投手で、まだ今日もそういう対決が注目されるんですけど、そのことについて知っているかということと、ちょっと毎日で恐縮なんですけど、大谷選手にまた期待っていうのをお願いします。
No, I didn't know that. So my guess is it was a split or something down, and Shohei took a good swing on it. And my guess is he probably won't throw the same pitch today.
あ
Other questions in Japanese? Okay. Assuming no other questions in Japanese, we'll go to English. Who has the first question? We'll start with Fabian in the first row, and then we'll make our way down.
Yeah, Dave, first off, how's Mookie feeling today?
So just arrived with him. Seemed much better. Haven't talked to the training staff about him, but the thought was last night if he felt good coming in to today, he would take some swings in the cage, take some grounders on the field, break another sweat, and then go from there. But we don't want to tax him too much today. Put some weight back on, which was a good thing, so we'll see.
今日球場入り一緒にしましたけども、状態良くなっているのかなと思います。トレーナーとはまだ細かい話はしてませんが、今日はバッティングや守備の練習、じっくり汗をかいて練習を見て、結構体重もそこそこ増えてますので、いい感じなのかなと思います。
And then you guys have talked up Yamamoto and how he's looked this spring. What is it about him, maybe this spring as opposed to maybe this time last year, that sort of looks different about him?
今回山本投手がすごくスプリングトレーニングで調子が良くて、去年と今年何か違いがあるんですかね。
I think the biggest thing is confidence, which you have to go through the experience to gain more confidence. And how that manifests is he trusts his fastball in the strike zone and doesn't feel he has to be too fine with it, which then makes everything else better.
一番の要素は自信だと思う。特に経験しないと自信っていうのはなかなか得ることができないので、特に大きな違いとしてはストライクゾーンにストレートを投げ込む、そこまで的確に投げなくてもいいっていうところを多分身についたのかなと思います。
Stay over there with Kirsten.
Dave, just reflecting on last night and how Shohei was welcomed into the stadium with the fans, was it what you expected? And just from your perspective, how would you describe just that moment for him?
大谷選手の歓声っていうのはそれを期待してて実際感じてみてどうでしたかと今日も同じような歓声になるんですかね。
Well, I think the thing that was most telling is when he was at bat, it was complete silence. And every time he did something, take a swing, foul a ball off, there was just a gasp. And I think that it was a great welcome, but I think there was just so much anticipation to see anything he did, which was different than any one of our other players.
Last year, as you got to get
一番はすごく静かだったんです。大谷選手が打席に立ってて静かなところが目立ってスイングをしたたびにファンがびっくりしたりとかファンの表現がいろいろできたのかなと思うのでそういう面では改めて大谷選手の凄さっていうのを感じました。
last year, as you got to get to know him, what allowed you to understand how he handles just the magnitude of who he is here, but also that keeps him at a very, I think it's fair to say, humble place as well. Just what to you was so telling with how he handles who he is, but also keeps that lightness about him around you all?
大谷選手1年間知り合ってすごく気になることが謙虚ながらこういう大きな場面で結果を残せるっていう要素っていうのは何でしょうか。
I think it's the Japanese culture. I mean, I really believe that. I think with Shohei, with Yoshinobu, with Roki, Japanese players I played with, there's just humility and gratitude, respect. And so that's just who these men are. And they just have a great way of balancing that while being fierce competitors.
大谷選手含めて山本投手、佐々木投手で過去に一緒にプレーした日本人選手の共通点としてはすごく謙虚っていうこと、謙虚ながらすごく競争心があるっていうところはやっぱりその日本の文化の特徴なのかなと思います。
We'll finish up with Jack on your left.
Going back to Yamamoto, when you think back to his career start last year, like, you think it's fair to say there were probably some nerves at that point for him, and is it just kind of a pretty big contrast, like where he's at now, coming off the kind of camp that he had?
山本投手が去年、韓国戦で登板した時は、緊張してたと思うんですけども、それと比べて、今年の山本投手はどうでしょうか。
Yeah, I think Yoshinobu's grown up considerably in 1 year. I really do. I think he's going to have a tremendous season, and just speaks to his character in the sense of after that debacle, that rough start, to bounce back like he did, speaks to his compete and his character.
山本投手はすごくこの1年間ですものすごく成長したと思う。特に苦い経験を韓国でしながらもいいシーズンを1年間いいシーズンを